Hey guys, so today I've decided to make this video because of a quite funny interaction with one of my viewers lah. I didn't do this video to like target her obviously, but I thought it was quite a funny conversation lah. But anyway, I kind of enjoyed that conversation. So I was thinking, so why not share it on this video today? And then, so anyway, this topic today will be on why is it so hard to find a perfect property? Why are we talking about this? Because I have quite some viewers, obviously. I think those of you who take time to watch my lengthy videos, obviously you think a lot about the market compared to the average buyers who probably the most extreme one of the first show flat they see or walk in or buy already. So those are the most extreme. But obviously not everyone is that extreme. Some people like us would like to do more due diligence. You prefer to take a time, do your homework, and then see what you really like, what are the things that what are the pitfalls to find out. And then you find here, find there, and then you realize that the more you know about the market, the harder it is for you to make a decision, which is very normal because in fact, some people say, oh, wow, agent, wow, got all the lobang. Next time they want to buy, actually, they buy is very easy, but actually it's not. In fact, the ones that are hardest to buy are the agents, because we see so many property, you know what is out there. It can be quite hard for you to make a decision. But sometimes the more you think, the harder you think, the more criteria you have. This is what I think. I think some people have already know this what I call the paralysis by analysis. Okay, I think this is quite common. Whether it applies to property, applies to stock market, applies to any other things, I think it's very normal. But the problem is when you kena this, you think too much, and then as a result, you end up sitting on the fence for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 10 years, which is not uncommon. We have people when I talk to people, they tell me, hey, last time 10 years ago, I thought I wish I should have bought this. But wow, look back, wow, wasted. I shouldn't have think so much. Or I have people who I bought a 3 room. Last time now I should have bought a 4 room. Then now I would have bought already. Wow, but last time actually I came out, it's just that I don't want to push, I don't want to strain myself. And then now I look back, I actually can manage one. So these are the kind of things that happens when you think too much. Okay. But I'm not telling you to not think when you buy a property. Obviously, you must think, you must have a certain criteria. I'm not telling you to just chong into the show fair and go and buy something. That's not a plan. That's not what you should be doing either. But of course, I think the most important thing is you need to know why are you buying a certain property. Okay. So anyway, today, whatever I say, just based on my own point of view, doesn't represent any others or any other maybe be associated with. It's just a random topic that I thought of while I was interacting with some of my viewers. Okay, so the funny thing is I like to compare buying property. Like some people they're looking for perfect boyfriend or must be taller, must be nice, must be funny, shall you love, must be 2 meter tall, must be rich, must be handsome, okay, must be don't know, must come from or must be what CEO company or don't know earning how 20K a month or must be whatever, all quite a criteria already. Then so it's very hard. You make it very hard for yourself to find because you have so many different criteria. And at the end of the day, even if you do find a magical unicorn, okay, we all know why I like to use it. I like to use my unicorn unicorn because it's rare, cannot find. So at the end of the day, when you find that unicorn, you're thinking, is he real or not? Am I dreaming or not? Maybe it's not so good because after all, I've been taught when I while I was growing up, I've been taught that if it's too good to be, if it's too good to be true, then it may be true. And then guess what? You think too much, and then even if you do find a perfect opportunity, even if you do find the perfect property, you end up missing it. You end up letting it go. Okay, and sometimes it may not be as healthy to be having too much of an unrealistic criteria. Like for example, in this case, some people look for jobs and then they realize that they come across this kind of, how many years, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end of the day, it's just an entry level position. Is it practical? I really don't think so. So anyway, for those of you wondering, I'm not telling you to just go and get out there. For those of you single, I'm not targeting you. This is not my intention. Maybe you want to stay single, you want to stay on, and that one is everyone's choice. It's really up to you. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like for those people who really really want to get attached, but they realize that I'm pretty sure everyone has this friend I want to find a boyfriend, I want to find a girlfriend that's like this, I want a certain criteria, and then even after they are 30, 40, 50, 60s, they will say, I cannot find that kind of thing. And then you realize, hey, what's your criteria? And then like what I said just now, you got all these different criteria. And then is it realistic? Not really. But is it wrong to stay single? Definitely not. Okay, so at the end of the day, if you cannot find, then are you okay to stay put where you are? Okay, and the funny thing is, I think most of the time it's not that they cannot find, is they are not unclear about what's your objective. Like for example, if you're buying property, which is what we are here to all today, not for marriage counseling. We are here buying property because, example, if I want a upgrade in size, or I want to upgrade in lifestyle, or I want maybe a more atas place, or maybe I want to make money, right? All these kind of things. And then you want, or it has to be cheap. Is it realistic that, we want bigger size, we want better lifestyle, it has to be atas, it has to make money, okay, make money, and then it has to be cheap, right? Which one of these don't belong? Okay, something has to go, right? I mean, if you are going for bigger size, then you want a lifestyle, it can't be cheap, right? I mean, can be able to make you money, but are there many other factors involved? Is there a lot of supply there that is stopping you from making the money? Like for example, atas space, you turn all this orchard, all this. Also see atas, but why are people losing money over there? And is it cheap? No, it's not cheap. So if you want something that is cheap, you go to the resale market. You want something that is cheap, that is very big size, and then you realize that the facility are not as nice. The lifestyle, is it really an upgrade? You find maybe not. Is it as atas? Maybe not. So you see where I'm coming from. There is a certain fixed set of criteria. I think everyone should have, in terms of must have, or should have, or maybe nice to have, but okay not to have. Okay, we'll talk about that later. And then if let's say, this one is not a good example because I don't want to talk about, in this sense, what if enters a resale market? Okay, this is very sensitive. Let's not talk about it. Maybe you use car as a better example. So for example, at the start, maybe if you're, for those of you who have experience of buying a car before, maybe you realize that you like a certain brand. For example, you like a Maserati. You always wanted a Maserati, and then you see inside, wow, show everything. Then after that, you drive. The feel not there, for whatever reason, not there. Is it the comfort level, or is it something, or is it too expensive? All these kind of things kick in. And then you realize that, okay, maybe I switch brand, I change to another one, maybe I change to an Audi, or maybe I change to a Porsche. All these kind of things you change around, and then you pretty much, sometimes you get confused, you don't really know what you want. But at the end of the day, when you want to buy a car, you need to know pretty much what you want. You cannot expect to be, I want a Lambo. I want a Lambo that has a depreciation of maybe only $20,000 a year. It has to be almost brand new. It has to be nice comfort level. It has to be powerful. Then the wheels must look at this, and then it must be below 300K. Definitely not. How to find a Lambo that is 300K? Maybe scrap lah. Okay, right? So at the end of the day, when you put it out into the resale market, is it something that other people will want? Is it a product that other people will want? Just because whatever you like doesn't mean that it's something that other people would like. And if let's say today you buy a resale that appeals to you because it's cheap, and big, and these are the reasons why you even buy it in the first place, and then next time you sell it to the market, and then you realize what are the kind of buyers you attract. Is it because is it the kind of buyers that are coming to you because they want expensive and they want big? Definitely not, right? You're probably extracting the same crowd all over again because you got in there because it's cheap, you got in there because it's big, and then probably next time you put it on the market, it's just going to be the same thing, which is going to be cheap and big also. And these are the kind of buyers that really wouldn't want to be overpaying, and that's why they come to you in the first place, right? So these are some of the I'm not saying all the resales are like this, but pretty much a lot of the resales are like this in the long run, especially leasehold ones. Okay. So I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is we need to be clear what we really want. What are the things that we must have? Is it something that if you do you really want, example, is it an MRT? Must you stay near an MRT? Just because to you MRT is a must, doesn't mean that somebody else see as a must. Because I do have clients that come to me, they say actually I don't need MRT. I tell them, wow, you know what, this one maybe near MRT, maybe good for you. No, I don't need MRT, I drive. So that's just because most people favor MRT doesn't mean that everyone needs MRT. Yeah, after all, people who buy condos, especially the more expensive one, they are able to afford a car, and some of them, or rather quite a lot, they are able to afford 2 or 3 cars. Do they really need MRT? Not really. Okay, I have clients who even have chauffeur for kids. Okay, so definitely may not need an MRT. So what are some of the things that you must have, you should have, you could have, or you do not need to have? Okay, all this we have to be very clear. If not, if you want every single thing, or you want, or it has to be money making, and then it has to be big, it has to have low PSF, then the finishings, you go to the show flat, the show flat, the finishing not good lah, everything complain lah. But the PS, but why do you go to the show flat in the first place? Because you realize that, the PSM looks quite low, and then why is it low? It's low for a reason. Maybe is it because the developer is compromising on this, and then what other criteria we have in the first place? Okay, is it the, I don't know, reputation or developer? You want everything nice, then does it which one of these you need to know shouldn't belong in the list? Which are the ones that you must have? Which are the ones that you can do? You can maybe not must have lah. Okay, you really think about, you need to, I think at the end of the day when we shop for property, it's like whether is it like shopping, you're not shopping, you're looking for a partner, you're looking for a car, right? You need to have that give and take. You need to have what are the things that you know you cannot compromise, and then what are the things that you may think, okay, it's not as bad. That's why in my previous video, you realize that there are properties that are not near the MRT at all, but they end up making a lot of money. Why? Is it because every single one in Singapore must have MRT? No. I mean, I personally do not need to stay near MRT. It's not because I drive. In fact, my childhood home, which I stayed for 20 plus years, is definitely not within walking distance of the MRT. I tried walking fast before. It took me half an hour. But is it okay? I'm okay. I'm happy with that place. In fact, if given a choice, if I don't have to grow up and get married, I would happily stay at that place. So is MRT really a must? Not really. And that's why your definition of a good location doesn't mean it is good definition. It doesn't mean that it's a definition of a good location for other people. You would not have places like, I mean, the West Coast side, there are so many condos. There are quite a few condos nowadays making money over there. But if you ask me, do I find it ulu? I find it really ulu. But why are people still buying? And why are the owners who invested there making money? I think we need to really understand all this. It is important that we understand that we cannot basically have the best of both worlds. In what sense? I buy, maybe I today I see something that is an opportunity that can make money. Then I realize the opportunity lies in the maybe West. Why? Because a lot of people like the East, but not a lot of people like the West. And then, but the problem is you like the East, but you want to make money, so you go and buy the East. At the end of the day, 5 to 10 years later, are you okay with not making money? Right? Okay. So for those people who have been sitting on the fence for the past few years, 3-4 years, I mean, I do know of people who have been sitting on the fence, and I don't really bother to rush them, because at the end of the day, you will just be the one that is sitting on the fence and watching everything go by, and then be the one, last time, 1 year ago I saw this, and then wow, I should have bought and then I'm very sure next 1 year later, you'll be in the same shoe again. 1 year ago, TD asked me to consider this one. I mean, I did consider, but in the end, I decided to back up. I don't want to put. And then, wow, make 300K or even more. No. And then, who's the one to blame? I don't think you should be blaming the whoever that brought you the opportunity, right? Because sometimes if you think too much, you actually don't benefit yourself. Okay, so this is an example from I throw you a resale just to compare. This is definitely a resale. This four are new condos, and then I realized I just wanted to throw in this one just for comparison's sake. So imagine from 2019 onwards. Okay, while those people who have been waiting for a crash since 2019, this guy has been going up. This guy has been going up. This guy has been going up. This guy also. And this guy also, how many opportunities have we bypassed? Was there only a one and only opportunity? No, I think 2019 was full of opportunity. 2020 when COVID struck, was there a lot of opportunity? Definitely, there were a lot of opportunities. But were people waiting and waiting and waiting? So I think it's also important to sometimes remember, why are people rushing to buy properties? Because a lot of people in the first place, they find that today, why am I selling? Because I can sell at a high price. And then that's why I consider selling. And then after you sell already, you realize that, wow, everything why I buy so expensive. Because I want to buy where I want to buy. Okay, where I want to buy. And then is there opportunity? Not really, but actually I want to make money, but when I look, maybe this place I really don't like. Can I make money? I don't need make money. But 5 to 10 years down the road, you realize you want to sell. Why last time I insist on where I want to buy, and then now I'm facing that problem. Okay. And so it is important to remember why a lot of people even want to sell in the first place, because today the market is hot. And then if you insist on selling today and to make a move, or even if you don't sell today, you want to buy today when the market is hot, are you going to be buying something you really want? And the chances of that, I would say more than 90%, you're buying into a seller that is trying to exit on a high. And then you out there is trying to hunt for a bargain. You're trying to hunt for a bargain in a, I would say, is like one Chinese what we call 海底捞. You are trying to dig for a needle in the ocean. How are you gonna find it? And even if you do find it, then how are you fast enough to recognize it? Because sometimes when people, it's not that people don't see the opportunity. They see opportunity, but they see opportunity. This is really a good opportunity. Something must be wrong. Maybe somebody died in their house. That's why the PSF is so low. Though. I think something is wrong. So I better don't buy. And then after that, 1 year down the road, wow, really went out. Wow, last time I should buy. This kind of thing always happens. Always. Okay. So at the end of the day, remember, are you sitting on the fence? And if so, is it because you really cannot find opportunities, or is it because you have too many criteria that is stopping you from making the right decision? And on the other hand, those who already make a decision, this is one of the group chat that I'm in, and recently there's going to be having a price hike. And then look at these guys over here, the owners, they're chanting, or they are so happy about a price hike. So while these guys are grieving or worrying, looking for the next good opportunity, even though people tell you, hey, this is a good opportunity, you should consider. And then, really me, what if I miss out something else? Maybe there's a better one out there. Like I know a lot of people, they like to wait for the next new coming launch. One thing we need to know is that when you have a brand new coming launch that is coming up, for example, I don't know, the Avenue 1, Ang Mo Kio, or Piccadilly. I mean, it's not that you cannot buy, you can buy. But at the end of the day, are you going to be waiting 4 years versus if you're looking at something that is maybe almost done in 1 year? So are you really willing to wait for 4 years versus 1 year? Is there going to be rental costs involved? Are you going to be okay to stay with your parents again? If not, so it's either usually people rent or go and stay, unless they have a second property or third property, then there shouldn't be a problem, right? So all these factors, you have to really consider them. and then think about all this. And I think to be fair to those people who bought very early, I mean, recently we see people, especially nowadays, they are looking for those projects that have already been sold quite a bit. They realize, wow, wow, now I'm paying maybe 100K or 80 or 100K more than the first owner. Wow, not fair because they earn so much already. But what happened to these guys? Were they paying for rental? And were their rental cheap? If let's say 3K a month, they've been waiting for 3 years already. Is it gonna be easily 100K? I think so. So who's gonna be paying for that for their rental? While you're sitting down there on the fence for 3 years, who's gonna be paying for their rental, right? I mean, it's only fair that they get compensated for waiting, right? So yep, I think this is what we are here for today, to think about what is it that we really want when we are looking for a property, to prevent ourselves from sitting on the fence. Because if you are looking for a property for 1 2 months, 2 3 months, I think that's pretty much the maximum you should be looking at. If you're looking at further for much longer period of time, I feel something is very wrong already. It's either you have been maybe looking once a month, once every 2 months, that's why you drag. Or if you've been actively looking every few days, you just look at the market and then you monitor. Then you monitor for 1 year already, you still haven't go ahead. I think something is wrong with the criteria, definitely. Okay, so hopefully for those people who have been wondering why you're sitting on fence, cannot find any opportunities, I think you probably had to start thinking about why in the first place you're still sitting on fence. Okay, that will be all we have for today. See you guys. Bye.